Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Monday night, and you know what that means. It's time for your weekly WWE Monday Night Raw Event Center report. And now here is the man to give you that report, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans 1977. Episode 1499 of the show, and as you know, next episode will be 1,500 episodes. Yay, me. Let's get to it. Couple things, couple of little notes, side notes before we get to the meat and potatoes of this issue, and of this episode, I should say, and that would be talking about what happened last night on Monday Night Raw. Congratulations, though, to the Florida Panthers. They defeated the Edmonton Oilers 2-1 in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals as they won their first Stanley Cup in their franchise history. So congratulations to the Florida Panthers and their fans. I know they've been giving my Boston Bruins some serious problems, but the Bruins will fight back and get their vengeance. That's for sure. Also, on this date, 29 years ago, I have done something that basically changed my life as a person forever, and that is work in the real world. That's right, I got a job in the real world after doing some side jobs with friends of my church and some odd jobs here and there. I decided to work in the real world. I've been working at Ruby. I was working at Ruby Tuesday. Got the job there 29 years ago when Ruby Tuesday was still at the Dartmouth Mall, a mall that I'm currently working at right now. But when Ruby Tuesday was first at the Dartmouth Mall back in the 90s, I ended up getting a job there about a few months after it opened. So, thanks to a friend of mine from my church, we used to go to my church, Mr. Jason Esposito. If you're watching, sir, thank you so much. And that place has basically changed my life as a person, and basically, if it had not been for that job, I wouldn't be getting all this wonderful stuff that I have right now. And worked at that job for 15 years until I quit in 2010, and I started working for SMS, and here I am, still working here at the mall. 29 years, 2 jobs. Would you believe that? But very, very blessed and very, very privileged. And it doesn't matter what kind of a job I have, as long as I have a job and just I do my thing, and that's all right with me. Also, a few days back, 2 years ago, this game finally came out for the Nintendo Switch and for the Xbox One, for the PlayStation. But 2 years later, the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection will be coming out very, very soon this year. We don't know when. We'll find out next month. We'll probably find out next month at the Evo. But the Marvel vs. Capcom X account on Twitter, Twitter X I like to call it, is going to celebrate by talking about the 7 games to be played. As you know, the Punisher, if you don't know this, it was the first ever game to have the Marvel vs. Capcom collaboration. So I thought that was super cool for one. So I thought it was a super cool fact. So I'm really excited. I did a pre-order for the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. Smart, wise move indeed. Even though we don't have the exact date yet, it will be released. But one thing's for sure, I know I'm going to get it. And once I do, that will make my Nintendo Switch possibly the best system ever, the best console I ever had. And where else can you have the whole library of the NES, Super NES, library of Super NES, NES, Super NES, Game Boy Advance, and N64 games. Plus, you get all the compilations. Like I said, Capcom Fighting Collection. I got the Mario games and just an arcade archives. Unbelievable. Totally unbelievable what games I have. It's totally cool. I'm looking forward also to Rita's Rewind, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. When that comes out, if it comes out for the Switch, best believe I'm getting it. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be totally awesome. But, however, right now we got to talk about, as you know, yesterday's Martindale Monday was not only the first Martindale Monday of summer 2024, it's the final Martindale Monday of June 2024, because we're in the last full week of June, folks. So And I gotta tell you, July is gonna hit big. It's gonna hit hard because the fact of the matter is, with the Whalen City Festival coming up and everything else in between, and it's unbelievable how things crazy things have happened, in this final month. So let's go. Let's go. What happened on Monday Night? Let's go talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw last night. As you know, it took place in Indianapolis, Indiana, and very surprisingly, because Pat McAfee's been there, been playing for the Colts for a long time, wasn't there for some weird reason. We don't know. We can get into that. The Miz decided, one half of the World Tag Team Champs, The Miz, decided to fill in and hanging out with Michael Cole for a bit. And then Drew McIntyre just addressed the CM Punk. And CM Punk, Drew McIntyre has the bracelet that a fan made for CM Punk, but it has the name of his wife, AJ Lee, and Larry the dog. So I think instead of Kazuchika Okada, Drew McIntyre could have gone to AEW and joined up with the Young Bucks and Jack Perry instead. They probably would love to have him on the team. Now, Chad Gable arrived with security. He had some shades on. He was blinded. I don't know what happened, and then she was reporting outside. And Kathy Kelly was reporting outside Chad Gable's locker room to see if because he is medically cleared to fight against Braun Strowman and Big Bronson Reed in a triple threat match for a Money in the Bank qualifier. And then Jackie Redmond interviewed Ludwig Kaiser as he takes on Braun Breaker one-on-one. And and as Braun Breaker and Ludwig Kaiser went at it, during the matchup, Sheamus attacked Kaiser. During the matchup, gets giving Kaiser the win by a disqualification, and Braun Breaker decided to spear Sheamus. Judgment Day hangs out with a new clubhouse, and Damian Priest was confronting Dominic about Liv Morgan. She had it again, Liv Morgan. I'm telling you. And then he confronted Carlito, J.D. McDonough, and Finn Balor about Braun Strowman. He said, we need to take care of that problem. You know what? No games. We're taking care of that right now. Braun Breaker confronts Adam Pearce about, listen, I would have beaten Kaiser if it had not been for Sheamus, but then he decided that I want a shot against Sami Zayn. But then Pearce says, I got a lot to figure it out. But then Sami Zayn goes, I'll tell you what, you want me anytime, anywhere, any place. And Braun Breaker goes, okay, how about Money in the Bank for that title? And then Sami goes, Adam Pearce, I accept the challenge. And then Adam Pearce goes, it's official. It will be at Money in the Bank. Braun Breaker to challenge Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Opportunity for Braun Breaker, that's huge. Speaking of Money in the Bank, the qualifier, Lyra Valkyria, Kairi Sane, and Shayna Baszler. And heck of a matchup, but then Valkyria ended up winning the match in the end. McIntyre decided to confront Pearce, and because he wants a shot at the Money in the Bank, because I can't do, he's just mere make it happen. And Liv Morgan enters the arena, and then Morgan come out to address Dominic, starts calling him out, a little sweet talk, and then Zelina Vega interrupted Liv Morgan and Dominic. And then Liv Morgan decided to, Zelina Vega decided to challenge Liv Morgan for the championship. And then she goes, why don't you try next week? So Dominic interrupts both ladies. Morgan then ends up attacking Zelina Vega. Rey Mysterio comes out to break it up. Dominic pushes Rey down and helps out Vega. And so Kathy Kelly interviewed, was still continuing reporting on Gable and how he's doing. And she interviewed Adam Pearce coming out because he's medically cleared. It's okay. There's some stuff that's not my department to talk about, but Gable is ready to go. Morgan decided to chase Dominic, and R-Truth runs into Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan had an idea. Hey, why don't you put the tag team titles on the line against the Judgment Day? Okay. I'll talk to Adam Pearce. And then the Miz kind of flipped out, decided to run to the back to try to stop R-Truth. Then in the Money in the Bank qualifier, Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, Chad Gable. Gable decides to address the two big men before his matchup, and then during the matchup, Judgment Day comes out to attack Braun Strowman during the matchup. But shockingly, Chad Gable took advantage of the situation and ended up pinning Big Bronson Reed to become a qualifier for the Money in the Bank ladder match. So, as he was celebrating, the lights go out again, and Nikki Cross and her sister Abigail gimmick enter the ring, scares away Gable, and then she goes over. She grabs up. She has a box, and she was going over and places it on the announcer's desk with Michael Cole, who was kind of maybe it was about what the whereabouts of Pat McAfee, if that happened, of course. But then Cole opens up the package, and there was a VHS tape, and it says "Play Me," and so Gable talks to the Alpha Academy, tries to apologize, but then Otis says, "We're done. I'm still standing my ground. We're done." And then the Creed brothers and as they close, and then Maxine Dupree says, "I'll try to talk to them." But then the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile say, "You okay?" And yeah, but I need help. So there's that. Non-title matchup, the women's tag team champs Albert Fire and Isla Dawn went up against Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, and Fire and Dawn ended up picking up the victory, but then Damage Control attacks both teams after the match. And so now Damage Control, now come to find out on reports, I found out on X that Io Sky's sister Mio Shirai has come out to retirement to wrestle. If I were the WWE, I would pick up on this and try to get Mio over to the WWE. You get the reunion of Triple Tails once Asuka comes back from her injury. You got, and if Io wants to make the change, big sister Mio Shirai could be the change that Io might need for Damage Control. So, we'll find out for sure. Damian Priest, now, Liv Morgan was in the Judgment Day's locker, and she goes, "So long." Damian Priest kind of glared at Balor, goes, "What's up?" And he goes, we took care of Braun Strowman. And he said, "Hey, we got ourselves a tag team title match against The Miz and Awesome Truth." And he goes, "You know what? That's fine. Bring home the belts and everything else." The Miz confronts R-Truth about that matchup, and the Miz couldn't believe it. Damian Priest addresses Seth Rollins. He comes out. Rollins interrupts Priest. Then Gunther interrupts both men. And Gunther goes, "Both you guys, whoever wins this matchup, will have to face me at SummerSlam." As you know, as a result of winning the King of the Ring tournament, Gunther will be having a shot at the World Heavyweight title against either Priest or Rollins. So, that's my sister's dog. Don't worry about a thing. But then you get the VHS content that Michael Cole, it was Uncle Howdy talking to Bo Dallas. Now, this is like an interview type deal, and it was the craziest thing ever. But it was very, very powerful stuff. Talking about Uncle Howdy says, "How'd you feel when your brother died?" And it seems like the continuation of the legacy of Bray Wyatt will continue on. So you're talking about Bo Dallas will be, oh boy. And it was one of the most, might be a little insane interviews, but also the very, very powerful interview. And unbelievable craziness. It's unbelievable. And even though it's a little crazy, but at the same time, it was very powerful stuff. It was like, wow. So, what's next for the Wyatt Sicks now? We'll have to find out. And then Kofi Kingston went one-on-one with Karrion Kross. Now, Karrion Kross, here's the deal. He has defeated 6 former WWE World Champions. If he beats Kofi Kingston, it'll be 7 for him. And during the matchup, AOP attacked Xavier Woods in the back. Obviously, Paul Ellering goes, "This is worth it, Kofi." And Karrion Kross, Kofi was distracted. Karrion Kross took advantage of it. He beat Kofi Kingston, and that's 7. And here's the crazy part. Now, this whole thing, Karrion Kross, right now, he knows that Big E is no longer there. Big E was the glue that kept the New Day together. Karrion Kross knows if Big E's not there, he could pick apart the New Day. The New Day's been together for almost 10 years, if not 10 years, and it's so. I'm gonna deal with that crazy dog, not me. Anyway, so there's that. The main event, the World Tag Team Titles on the line, Austin Truth against the Judgment Days. They went with the All-Irish Connection. That would be J.D. McDonough and Finn Balor, teacher and student. During the matchup, Liv Morgan arrived, and then Dominic and Carlito was joining at ringside, but then Strowman decided to chase Dominic and Carlito from ringside. Morgan distracts Truth, basically betrays him, makes him look like a fool, and with Finn Balor hitting the coup de grace, 1, 2, 3, we have new World Tag Team Champions in both Finn Balor and J.D. McDonough of the Judgment Day. There is a lot to dissect here, but let me tell you, the Money in the Bank, that is coming a week from this Saturday. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. So, that's all the time we have on this show. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Next up, episode 1500. Thank you for tuning in. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.